Okay.
Yeah.
Just like walking around.
No, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so the space bar. I really love to read, but only one kind of book, and I do not deviate from this genre. It's called books that are not mine. I used to read books that were mine. I would buy a book and it'd be in my house forever, so if it took me 6-8 months to slough through it, that's okay. And everything else I wanted to read would stack up on the nightstand next to me. And it started to get overwhelming, and I started to realize the stack was maybe exceeding my life expectancy. And that's when a coworker had the nerve to lend me a book, and it was not one that was part of my ambitious reading plan. But I couldn't keep it around in the stack, so I had to decide if I was going to just tell him no or read it. So I just read it. It actually felt really good. I thought, what if I just read whatever came to me? Without judgment, without big plan. If it was recommendations from my coworkers, my roommate's collection of Target bestsellers, and if I wanted a specific book, I could get it from the public library. We have an awesome public library system in Wichita. Did you know they will transfer a book, any book in their system, to your local branch for a quarter? And it comes with a due date, so it cannot be a cloud over you. You have to get it back out. It's so refreshing. I felt like a flower that had been moved into the sun. Then I get this article sent to me about this guy, Todd, in Wisconsin, who built this cabinet-looking thing in his yard with a sign on it that said, "Little free library, take a book, leave a book." Well, I love to read, and my husband, Mark, loves crazy ideas off the internet. So we decided to build a little free library. We never built anything before. We used scraps of wood, we scrounged tools from neighbors. It was quite a learning experience. But in 2012, we managed to put up Wichita's second little free library in our neighborhood north of College Hill. We were the second. We got beat to the punch a little bit by the first library, which happened to be in Riverside, of all places. By Michelle Wilson, who was lovely. I met Michelle. We decided to have a joint Facebook page to publicize the libraries. You know how Kansas sometimes publicizes itself? That's what happened. This little boy, Spencer, was 9 years old, south of Kansas City, built a little free library in Leawood, Kansas, made him take it down. Because it was an unapproved structure giving away free books. And I was so happy to tell my friends that I had never had a polygamy problem with the city of Wichita. Yes. Don't go between the street and the sidewalk. Keep it kind of smaller than a doghouse. There were no permits required. And my steward job was really easy. Books were coming in all the time. I just kind of kept them straight. Sometimes I would take extras when I went on road trips. So I'd visit libraries in Missouri and Iowa and Illinois and get to see what a part of a movement I was in. And libraries started popping up around Wichita more and more. We have 25 little free libraries in Wichita now. They're all over the place. Richard Krausen painted the one for Price Harris. Here I am reading in the sun at a bench in Sherwood Glen with my daughter. The map is really starting to fill up, especially in College Hill and Riverside. But I see some opportunities here. There are very few little free libraries in South Wichita, and I feel like every neighborhood deserves one of these because reading and literacy is critical to the success of the future of our communities. Kids who read well have the foundation to learn everything else at a faster rate. Now there's two ways that I've heard that are good for getting kids to read. One, read to little kids, we all know that. The other one is just to read around kids. When they grow up in literacy-friendly communities, they know that reading is just a part of normal adult life, and they want to emulate that. So I said I would never build another little free library again after our adventure in 2012, but the world has changed. There is now a shared woodshop space downtown at ICT that has made it much easier to build things. They've had little free library build days. Here's my summer project. I'm putting the finishing touches on the Make ICT libraries. We're using our Facebook page to connect those with volunteer stewards in booked desert areas that don't have any little free libraries. And I have 5 libraries in my garage right now. It stopped raining last week, and we were able to start digging holes and getting books out to these communities. Having reading material for all ages in all corners of Wichita is how we're going to get the adults reading as examples to kids. And that's how you find the 10-year-old who's soaked into Harry Potter, and the 5-year-old who's laughing at Dr. Seuss, and the 2-year-old who brings you a book the minute you walk in the door. Because little little kids will associate books with closeness and warmth and human connection. It's a piece of the puzzle, but it's how my love of reading made me see all books as ones that shouldn't be mine. They should be out in the world doing good in the community in the wild little free libraries of Wichita, Kansas.